Hayward Podworks. 100 shows, one vision.
Our sources explain it all. For more information on upcoming shows or to suggest shows, email brianhayward2026@gmail.com. And now let's get into our show. Hayward Podworks is vision, deep dives into any topic.
Okay, so we all have them, right? Those massive goals.
Oh, absolutely.
You know, maybe it's conquering a huge career change, finally getting into the best shape of your life, or, I don't know, booking that trip you've been dreaming about forever.
Right. The dream is there. The aspiration is there.
But here's the great, frustrating rub. When it comes down to the daily grind, it feels like so many of us we lack the know-how to actually stick to the plan.
And that creates this really profound feeling of being powerless. You know you should be doing it, but you just can't keep that consistency going.
Yeah, you can't stick to the training program or the writing schedule.
And what the sources really highlight, which I think is maybe the most discouraging part, is the social side of it. When you announce your latest great goal,
oh no,
like I'm going to run a marathon this year,
yeah,
people just kind of roll their eyes because they know deep down you've probably said something similar the last 5 times.
They give you that little nod that sure you are, and sometimes, let's be honest, we don't even believe it ourselves.
Exactly.
So our mission today is to cut through all of that noise. We're not talking about, the perfect calendar app. We're diving into strategies that help you build that almost unbreakable drive.
That unstoppable iron determination.
Yeah.
The thing that keeps you going even when you've had a draining day or you're fighting off a migraine and everything in you wants to just quit.
Yes, that relentless drive.
And the source material suggests this all begins not with tactics or plans, but with the single most fundamental element. Passion.
Finding your passion, which, according to the sources, isn't just some fluffy secret to being happy. It's the secret to success, to becoming this magnetic, charismatic person. It's like the ultimate life upgrade.
And what's fascinating is how the material uses one specific person as the living definition of this drive.
Oh, yeah. Who's that?
Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson.
Of course.
I mean, you just look at his resume.
Right.
It's not just long, it's incredibly deep. Best physique in Hollywood, one of the highest paid actors on the planet. He conquered pro sports. He's a social media mogul.
People are even tipping him for presidential runs. It's that level of achievement that just screams relentless effort.
And when you watch him, it makes perfect sense. He never looks tired or defeated. He's just brimming with this enthusiasm.
That's the passion, right? That's what gets him up at 4 a.m. to work out. The action itself is what's motivating him.
It's intrinsically motivating. He's not doing it grudgingly for some external reward, like a paycheck.
Or for praise.
Right. It's not about what he gets out of it, the money, the fame, the gold medal. That would be extrinsic motivation. He does it because the action is the reward.
And the sources argue that's why most goals fail, isn't it? We rely on those external rewards.
Exactly. When the outside praise stops, so does the effort.
And that intrinsic drive, it feeds directly into his charisma, which is another huge side benefit of finding what you really love to do.
That's a great point. One study we looked at showed that people rate others as way more charismatic if they gesticulate more when they talk.
Use their hands more.
Use their hands. Speak with their whole body. And passion makes us do that because we're so excited to share what we believe in. It literally changes how you exist in a room. It makes you magnetic.
That's a powerful idea, that passion physically changes you. So, okay, this iron determination, it all hinges on finding that internal spark. But how? That sounds like the hardest part.
It requires deep, honest self-assessment. The sources are really clear on this. You have to be brutally honest with yourself.
So that means what? Rejecting what your parents wanted for you?
Yes, or what you think you're supposed to want. You have to zero in on what truly makes you feel alive, even if it seems weird to other people.
And here's the crucial part, right? The thing that separates the doers from the dreamers.
It is. You have to learn to enjoy the process, the journey, not just the end result. If you hate the journey, you will never ever sustain the drive.
So it's not enough to want to have written a book. You have to learn to love sitting down every morning and writing 500 clunky words.
Exactly. You can't just want to be strong. You have to find some joy in the discipline of the gym and feeling that burn. If you find that thing, the drive becomes almost automatic. Everything else just feels like a distraction.
Okay, so that brings us to the next big hurdle the sources talk about. You've found your passion. How do you make sure you actually act on it?
This is where you have to shift your mindset. You have to move from being a talker or a dreamer to becoming a doer.
A doer? Someone whose reality is defined by their actions, not just what they intend to do.
Right. You want people to know that when you say you're going to start a business, the groundwork is already laid. You have that gravitas.
Well, how do you do that?
And here's the really counterintuitive piece of advice from the material. One of the best ways to become a doer is to stop telling people your plans.
Wait, hold on. That feels like the exact opposite of everything we're ever told. Don't you need a support system, a cheerleading squad?
It feels wrong, doesn't it? But the material gives two really strong reasons why silence is better than sharing.
Okay, I'm listening.
The first one goes back to what we just talked about. External validation.
The intrinsic motivation.
Exactly. If you're truly passionate about your project, you shouldn't need praise from others. Seeking that good job sticker undermines your own internal fuel source. You're trading a powerful engine for a weak, unreliable one.
That makes sense. But you said there was a second reason, something weirder.
Yeah, it's a strange phenomenon called psychic release.
Psychic release? Sounds like something from a sci-fi movie.
It kind of does, but it's basically premature gratification. When you tell someone your plan, your brain gives you a little hit of reward and relief before you've done the work.
So you get the emotional satisfaction of achieving the goal without taking a single step.
Precisely. Think about New Year's resolutions. You tell everyone, I've quit smoking. They say, wow, that's amazing. And you instantly feel like a non-smoker.
You've adopted the identity.
You have. You've gotten the emotional reward, so the incentive to actually fight the craving at 10 p.m. is just gone.
You crossed the finish line in your head, you accepted the medal, and now there's no reason to actually put your running shoes on. Wow. That is a huge insight into self-sabotage.
It really is.
So for anyone listening who's announced that same big resolution every January for the last 5 years, this silent approach might be the one thing they need to try.
But, and this is a crucial nuance, the research also points out that there are times when telling people does help.
Okay, so when should we talk?
When you need to create external stakes or find a real partner, the first benefit is just pure social pressure. If people know you're doing something, they're watching.
Right, accountability.
And you can really amplify that pressure. There's this technique popularized by guys like Tim Ferriss where you set up a financial punishment.
Oh, I've heard about this.
You get a friend to watch you, and if you fail, if you miss a deadline or skip a week, they have to donate your money to a charity you absolutely despise.
Now that is some powerful motivation. The fear of your money going to a cause you hate.
There's some serious negative motivation, yeah.
So that's one reason. What's the other?
Meeting a genuine partner in crime. This is, essential for relationship goals. If you want to travel the world together, your partner obviously has to be on board.
Sure, that's a given.
But it makes a huge difference even when it's not mandatory. Take dieting.
Oh, yes.
It is incredibly hard to stick to a nutrition plan when your partner is sitting right next to you eating pizza and chocolate. It's so isolating.
It makes you feel like the weird one.
But if they join you, suddenly it's a team challenge. It's a shared activity, not this antisocial chore that's putting distance between you.
That's so true. And the gym buddy is the classic example, right? They encourage you, they spot you, and you just don't want to leave them waiting in the parking lot at 5:30 in the morning.
That commitment to someone else is often so much stronger than our commitment to ourselves.
Absolutely.
And you see it in business too. Finding passionate co-founders. That collective excitement creates a state of flow that buoys everyone when one person is having a tough day.
Okay, so if we pull all this together, what's the real takeaway? Tell people or don't?
The rule seems to be this. Tell people if you are looking for a genuine partner in the effort.
Someone to hold you accountable or get excited about the process with you.
Exactly. Get them on your team, but do not tell everyone just to boast about your future success. That is the mark of a talker, not a doer.
Right. So once you have your goal and your social strategy, the next challenge is keeping that fire alive when things get tough.
Which they always do. Too often, people just work blindly, grudgingly. They're grumbling through the workout, having totally forgotten the amazing reason why they started in the first place.
And that's where visualization comes in.
It's critical. You have to keep the why front and center by focusing on the emotion that drove the goal to begin with.
You have to picture really vividly what it's going to feel like.
That's the positive visualization technique.
Yeah.
So if you're training, you don't just picture a number on the scale. You picture yourself feeling powerful, having energy, seeing how well that suit fits.
You're reminding yourself that this hard thing you're doing right now is the direct path to that incredible feeling. You have to immerse yourself in it.
But the sources also offer an alternative. And honestly, it can be even more powerful.
What's that?
Challenge or negative visualization.
Okay, so instead of the light, you picture the darkness.
You picture total crushing defeat. You imagine the negative outcome of quitting working that dead-end job forever, getting flabby, losing all the progress you've made.
You're manufacturing drive out of defiance.
Exactly. You visualize yourself in 6 months, exhausted and depressed, and then you ask yourself, do I accept that? Or do I want to get up right now and kick ass?
It's turning fear into fuel.
And the source notes that the harder it is to do the work, the more tired you are, the colder it is outside, the more impactful your decision is to do it anyway.
That defiance gives you a bigger emotional reward than on an easy day.
You are actively choosing action over resignation. It's incredibly powerful.
So we have the passion, we have the social strategy, we have the mental fire from visualization. Now what?
Now we get to the final and maybe the most practical side of this.
Yeah.
Which brings us to a really weird but important structural tip from the sources.
Okay, ready?
The tip is, get a washing machine.
Get a washing machine? What are we talking about? Housekeeping tips.
It sounds like it, but it's a metaphor.
Okay.
It represents a mindset shift. You have to design your life around your passion by removing unnecessary friction.
So the point isn't literally a washing machine.
The point is, if you know what's important to you, say writing your novel, you have to restructure your life to spend less time on things that don't serve that goal, like standing over a sink of dirty dishes.
It's about reducing friction, recognizing that willpower is finite.
It's a resource. And if you spend it all on tiny daily battles, like a long commute or figuring out what to eat for dinner, you won't have any energy left for the big, important work.
So you automate or outsource the mundane stuff.
You do. If your commute is killing 2 hours a day, you have to find a way to shorten it. If you spend an hour organizing your meals, maybe you get a meal kit delivery, it sounds like an indulgence, but you are buying back time and mental energy for your passion.
And with the fitness example, if getting to the gym feels like this massive hurdle, the travel, the park...
Stop going to the gym.
The train from home and stuff.
Yes. Remove that friction. Now you can squeeze in 30 minutes before work. It makes it exponentially easier to stick with it.
So it's not about working harder, it's about making the right choice the easiest choice.
It's aligning your entire environment with your desire. That's the final essential step.
So really, all of these strategies come down to 3 pillars then. You set up your life for success, you constantly remind yourself of the why with visualization.
And you're strategic about who you bring onto your team and when.
Right.
But If you do all of that, if you've found the passion, you're visualizing, you've managed accountability, you've restructured your life for low friction, and it is still not working.
There's a final caveat.
The sources present one final essential thought. The problem might not be your lack of drive. It might be the goal itself.
Which raises a really important final question for you, the listener, to think about. If passion and drive are so deeply linked, and we've talked about all these ways to sustain the effort, what does it mean if it's still a battle?
If every single day feels like a war just to show up.
Does that struggle itself mean you should reassess whether this goal is truly rooted in your own deep intrinsic passion? Maybe the thing you're fighting so hard for isn't actually the thing you want?
Hayward Podworks. 100 shows, one vision.
All right, this is Hayward Podworks, and that's today's episode. If this helped you, do me a favor, hit follow, leave a quick rating, and share it with one person who'd get value. Want the extras, links, and new drops? Check the show notes. Until next time, stay sharp, stay consistent, and keep building. Hayward Podworks. We'll talk soon.